The mystery of Easter Island and the giant stone heads. Far away in the Pacific Ocean, thousands of miles from major continents, lies one of the most mysterious places on Earth, Easter Island, known by its native name, Rapa Nui. This isolated island is famous for its enormous stone heads called moai. For centuries, these giant statues have fascinated explorers, archaeologists, and travelers from around the world. But who made them? Why were they built? And how did ancient people move stones weighing dozens of tons without modern machines? The story of Easter Island begins more than 800 years ago. The island was settled by Polynesian people who crossed vast distances of ocean. Using canoes and knowledge of the stars, imagine traveling across endless water with no GPS, no engines, and no maps. Yet these skilled navigators reached Rapa Nui and created a thriving society. Over time, the people of the island developed a unique culture and began carving giant statues from volcanic rock. These statues, known as moai, were not simply decorations. They represented important ancestors, chiefs, or respected leaders. One of the most surprising facts is that the famous heads are not just heads at all. Many people believe the moai are only giant faces emerging from the ground, but most statues actually have full bodies buried beneath the soil. Archaeological excavations revealed torsos, arms, and carved details hidden underground for centuries. Some statues stand more than 30 feet tall, and several weigh over 70 tons. The largest unfinished moai ever discovered could have weighed more than 150 tons. Most of the statues were carved in a volcanic quarry called Rano Raraku. The island itself is volcanic, and this soft volcanic stone made carving possible with relatively simple tools made from harder rock. Creating one statue could take months or even years, but carving them was only half the challenge. The real mystery was transportation. How did ancient islanders move these massive monuments across rough land without wheels, cranes, or metal tools? For many years, people believed the statues were rolled on logs like giant stone cargo. However, newer theories suggest something even more fascinating. Researchers discovered that the statue may have been walked upright using ropes. By carefully rocking the moais side to side and pulling with teams of people, the statues could slowly move forward. In fact, some island traditions say exactly this, that the statues walked to their final destinations with spiritual power. Today, experiments by scientists have shown that walking the statues may actually have been possible. Another fascinating detail is where the statues were placed. Most moais stand on ceremonial stone platforms called ahu. Interestingly, many face inland rather than toward the ocean. This suggests they were watching over villages and protecting the people who lived there.
Their eyes were especially important. Originally, many moai had eyes made from white coral and dark stone pupils. Once the eyes were placed, islanders believed the statues received spiritual power and symbolically watched over the land. But Easter Island's story is not only about achievement and mystery, it is also a story of hardship. For years, many people believed the island's society collapsed because its inhabitants cut down all their trees while transporting statues. According to this idea, deforestation caused environmental disaster, food shortages, and conflict. The truth, however, appears more complex. Modern research suggests several factors contributed to the island's difficulties. Tree loss may have played a role, but so did invasive rats brought by settlers, changing environmental conditions, internal struggles, and later contact with Europeans. When European explorers arrived in the 1700s, they found a society already facing challenges. Disease, slavery, and outside influence caused further suffering for the Rapa Nui people. Another mystery involves the fallen statues. Today, many moai lie toppled on the ground. Historians believe rival groups may have intentionally knocked down each other's statues during periods of conflict, symbolizing political and spiritual defeat. Yet despite centuries of hardship, the culture of Rapa Nui survived. The descendants of the island's original people still live there today and continue protecting their heritage. Easter Island remains one of the most remote inhabited islands in the world and is now recognized as an important archaeological and cultural treasure. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not how the statues were built. Human determination, teamwork, and engineering can explain much of that. The deeper mystery is what the Moai represent to us today. These silent stone faces remind us of humanity's creativity, ambition, and desire to leave something lasting behind. Standing against ocean winds and volcanic hills, they continue to watch over the island just as they did centuries ago. And maybe that is why the Moai still fascinate the world. Not because they are impossible to understand, but because they connect us to a civilization that achieved something extraordinary in one of the most isolated places on Earth.